Hi everybody, I'm Joe.
And I'm Mary.
And we're bookbuds. Today we are going to do the fantasy character book trope.
Tag.
No.
Tag.
Fantasy character book trope tag.
And we were tagged by Niko's book reviews. Niko has a great collection of fantasy novels, and he has inspired a lot of books that are on our TBR. So check him out if you don't know Niko. The original tag was by Joana, Sousa, and we're going to link that in the description as well. Are you ready for question number 1?
I'm ready.
Okay. The Chosen One, a book you recommend to everyone.
Okay, so I don't talk about this author a lot on our channel, but it's surprising because I've read so many of his books.
Okay.
Especially when I was younger. James Patterson, he wrote a book called When the Wind Blows, and it kind of fits into what we like. It's kind of fantasy, sci-fi-ish. It's about like a government experiment. They make a child with wings and like all the stuff that happens, and it's really cool. Love that book, and I have recommended it a lot to people over the years, and I think you would like it.
All right.
You might want to pick that one up.
Maybe you guys do too. Cool. Okay, so one that I recommend to everyone is one that I recommended to you that you've read and we've reviewed, which is Graceland by Kristen Cashore. And I do legitimately recommend this to everybody just because when I first read it, I just loved the idea of people having the different colored eyes being graced with something. And it's always stuck in my head as something really special, so I recommend it often.
Okay, the second one, The Secret Heir. A book that surprised you turned out to be more than you expected.
Mistborn. I only read it because it was a recommendation that I saw come up a lot on BookTube. It's a book by Brandon Sanderson. People rave about it, and I just wasn't sure if I was going to like it. And even when I started reading it, I wasn't totally sure. And then, wow, yeah, I really liked it. So that was a very nice surprise. How about you?
Cool. Mine is a book that I was assigned to read in undergrad. It was called The House on Mango Street by Sandra Cisneros. It's about a Latina girl growing up in Chicago, and it was a very charming book. I really liked it.
Awesome.
Yeah.
All right, the next one. The Evil Overlord, a book that was poorly executed or a book that fell flat.
Oh, it's me.
It's you.
And I'm not prepared. All right, so mine is a very unpopular opinion.
Yeah.
It's The Thief Lord by Marcus Zusak. Have you heard of it?
No.
Okay. Everybody loves this book. The style of it, I just could not grasp. The writing style, I just didn't like it. It was kind of like symbolism-ish. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just didn't like it.
Not into it.
Everybody loves this book.
And that's, for me, I've said this before about The Girl Who Drank the Moon. I was not a fan. It's by Kelly Barnhill, and the way it was written, it was just, it had this sing-songy kind of poetic stuff going on, and then I was like, all right, but I'm gonna like it anyway, it's supposed to be great. And then that ending, it was like building, and then like poof, no details. I was not happy. Are you itchy?
No, some of these bugs come
I know. I was not happy with the ending, so not happy with that book at all.
Okay, next question. The Reluctant Hero, a book you're not sure that you want to read or not.
So I think as soon as I say this, everybody's going to comment, yes, you have to read it, Mary. Malice by John Gwynne. It's been talked about a lot. I wrote that one down on my TBR at the same time that I added Mistborn to my TBR, and I know you guys out there love it. I got it from the library. It's thick. And I'm just like, am I ready to dive into something like this? I'm sure you're all going to say it's fantastic. And I should. I'm just not ready. I'm reluctant.
People love their John Gwynne.
I know. I see his name a lot. I haven't read anything by him. So I intend to. I'm just reluctant.
Get it?
Yeah. How about you?
Mine is an older book. The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo.
Oh, I read that.
Oh, you read that?
Yeah.
So I started it a long time ago, and I don't remember why I didn't finish it. Like, I didn't get very far at all, but I just remember, like, not loving it and just always having it in the back of my mind, like, I have to read this because everybody loves this book. You liked it?
Yeah, I read all of them. I think you would like them. I'm not sure. Maybe it was like a time of your life kind of thing. You were feeling busy and you wanted something, like, different.
Is it very, like, spy-oriented?
I mean, there was lots of like action, mystery, like a serious, intense mystery.
Yeah, I think it was
running
very
and
serious
escaping
and
kind of stuff. Somebody after them, like.
Okay, I mean, it sounds good, but I don't know. I'm reluctant. I don't know why.
I enjoyed it. I don't remember all the details, but I enjoyed it.
All right.
Okay, the next one, The Lucky Novice. So a book that was a great debut.
So I'm going to talk about the very first book we ever reviewed.
Okay.
Just because I love it. And it's a great debut. For that to be her first novel, Where the Crawdads Sing by Delia Owens,
Yeah.
just amazes me. It was just
That was an incredible
such
book.
a well done piece of literature.
I didn't realize that was her debut.
That was her debut. Yes.
Awesome. I hope she writes more. That was a really strong book.
Yes.
Yeah. So mine that I'm going to talk about is The Fact of a Body by Alexandria Marzano-Lesnevich. And that book is a blend of a true crime and memoir. And so the author had an experience of childhood sexual trauma, and she was researching a case for the death penalty of a person that had been a pedophile and a murderer. And it was the way that she wrote this book, she wove those two pieces together. It was really powerful, really moving. I enjoyed it a lot, and it was her first novel, and it's been like written in so many different languages. It's been really successful. So awesome book. If you like that sort of thing, check it out.
I still have that book from you.
You do?
I have to read it.
I know.
Okay, next up, The Mentor, a book that is formative to your life.
So I have a lot to say about this one. I've talked about this book before, The Giver by Lois Lowry. It really did have a tremendous impact on me as a reader, as a person. I first read it when I was in high school because a friend of mine, her mom was a librarian in elementary school, and she was wondering, like, should kids really be reading this book? She wasn't sure what she made of it, and she's like, here, Mary, read this book. And like, I wasn't ready for more book assignments. I was in high school. I didn't feel like reading books for school as it was, but she was like, she wanted to know what I thought of it. She wanted me to critically think about it and give feedback. And it was the first time that I read a book with like some thought to share about my experience with someone else. You know, it was like, okay, a real person that's not my teacher wants to know what I think of this book. So that was a nice experience. That's one part of it, why it affected my life. Another part was that this book really surprised me because I didn't know anything about it when I went into it. And I'm reading it thinking the world is like pretty normal. It's just like our world, maybe a little skewed. But then there's like a major thing that's very different, and it becomes apparent. And I was so surprised when I got to that point in the book. It was my first time as a reader that I was surprised by something, and I found out, like, I love that. I love when a book just blindsides me with something. So that was a fun reader experience. And then, like, this is a really long answer.
Well, I mean, it has to be formative to your life, so yeah.
Right. So then, I also really identify with the character that is the giver, because this person is responsible for holding a lot of people's stories and ideas and things that are painful to recall. And it's a very solitary experience, and it's a very selfless thing that they have to do for others. And I can really relate with this because we work in mental health. There's a lot of things that I hold for other people that, you know, it's just me and my solitary experience of that for them. And so when I think of the giver, like, I can really identify with what they went through. So on many levels, this book speaks to me in so many different ways.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Mary, that was an astounding answer.
I don't even think I said the author, did I?
You did.
I did? Okay, good. Well, thank you, Joe.
I'm like in awe right now.
And I don't think you've read it because you watched the movie.
I have not read this book,
Yeah.
surprisingly. I mean, it was all over my childhood. I don't know why I never read it.
Yeah. I don't know if it's one that, like, I'd say, you know, go read it. It's going to, like, astound you, but it just had that effect on me because of how I read it, when I read it. I've reread it, you know.
Did you read the whole series?
I know I did read on. I just don't know if I read the whole series. I actually intend to check that.
Okay. Finish what you started.
That's
one
right.
of your goals.
That's my goal for the summer.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Well.
How about you, man?
I'm going to go old school as well. The Giving Tree.
Oh, okay.
By Shel Silverstein.
Uh-huh.
I just think that the moral of the story is, I think, to, like, nurture the important relationships in your life. And we don't want to do what that little boy did. I don't know if you know that story. Like, he just took and took and took from that tree, pretty much cut it down to a stump. But the tree was just so happy to just keep giving it to him because he loved him. So, like, I think it deserves, like, an explanation if it's a young reader, and it's kind of like a children's book. So it might go over their heads, but it really has a great lesson in there.
You know, I never read that one, and I didn't even read it to my kids. But Shel Silverstein I love, and I've read other things. But maybe I need to look at that one.
Yeah, it's special.
Yeah. All right, last question. The Animal Companion, the book that broke your heart or that makes you smile?
My Grandmother Asked Me to Tell You She's Sorry by Frederick Bachman. He wrote Well, it doesn't matter because I can't remember the title. It's just an extraordinary It's an extraordinary story, really different style of writing, and I like how he uses fairy tales. The grandmother used to tell bedtime stories to her grandchild, and they use those stories to further the plot of the book and to explain certain things. I can't explain it because it's so different and so cool, but it makes me smile.
That's nice. Awesome.
What about you, Mare?
I mean, I could talk about endless number of books that make me cry, so I'm not going to do that. So the ones that make me smile are like sappy, happy romance stories. So like Barbara Delinsky, anything by her or anything by Susan Wiggs. It's just like, you know, people coming together and living happily ever after in real life scenarios. So I think I've only read one by either of them in the past year because I've been reading so many other genres. But if I just want to feel happy and smile, then I'm going to read one of those. That's it.
All right, we did it.
I think we're done.
Who are we going to tag?
Lots of people. We have so many friends out there. Are you guys ready to be tagged? Okay, so first I'm going to tag David Wiley because he's new out there, but he's growing so fast, and I'm so happy for you. You have so many videos coming out, and I don't think you've done this tag yet, so have at it.
All right, I'm going to tag Fit to Be Read. He reads a lot of sci-fi fantasy, so these tropes will fit in with his whole channel.
Awesome. And I'm going to tag Amrita by the Book. She just celebrated her 1 year anniversary, so congratulations.
Congrats.
I think a lot of people are probably coming up on 1 year. But she does a bunch of tags, and I don't think she did this one yet either, so enjoy.
I'm going to tag Donica and Shelby Reed. They haven't done a lot of tags, and they're a duo, and we're a duo, so I kind of want to see what they do with it. I think they're going to have a good time with it.
Absolutely. And then last but not least, we're going to tag Jeremy Fee. Jeremy does so many tags, so many in fact that he had to do 6 all in one video. So Jeremy, if you're up for another one, I don't think you did this one yet. I checked. So if you haven't and you want to do it, go for it. We'd love to see your answers.
If you're enjoying BookBuds, give us a thumbs up.
And share us with your friends.
And subscribe to our channel, BookBuds!
Aren't tags so much fun? Tag us!
We have a very unusual looking bug.
It's quite threatening looking. We just have to remain calm.
Yeah, there's going to be screams. If
I mean, the show must go on,
if
right?
it approaches any closer. I bet that's on film. Can you guys see that bug in the corner of the screen?
This is what we get for filming in a tree. We're like in a tree, guys.
It's very
We're surrounded by trees.
pokey looking. It's going to sting. Okay. Okay, so mine.